Hi, everybody. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good evening. Come on in. This is where you come on. Hi, everybody. Hello, everyone. Come on in. Hello, everyone. Come on in. Come on in. Say hello. Happy Tuesday. Let me adjust my light in here. It's kind of a bit dark. I don't know why. I know. But anyway. Hi, everyone. Hello, Miss Lee. How are you? Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Happy Tuesday. Come on in. Let's talk immigration. Hi, everyone. This is Attorney Abisola Adibola Olale Omamabasam. Immigration lawyer based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Got an immigration case. If it's a case that we handle, we can and do represent immigration clients, regardless of the state you live in, people. It doesn't matter where you live. Immigration is federal practice. Any attorney who practices immigration law can represent you as long as they're licensed in at least one state, right? And I happen to be licensed in 2 states, Alabama, good old Alabama, and New York State. I think I'm going to end up in New York because I've had my feel of the South. It's good for raising kids, no doubt, but then I still have, my baby is 11. Oh, Lord have mercy. Y'all need to listen, young ladies. Go have your kids on time. Have your kids on time. Love you too, girl. Have your kids on time. Because you may you end up in your 40s with an 11-year-old. And still. Yeah. But anyway, come on in. Let's talk immigration. You know the drill, everyone. Got a question, comment, put it in the comment section, and we'll get to it. Oh, someone had sent me a DM and says, I can't remember, and I think I've forgotten. I think it was two or 3 lives ago that someone had said that I was not quite right about Vawa and I-751 or something, that the guy never came back. I don't know if it's a guy or girl. I don't know. But I don't know if the person is here today, they can come back and say something. I don't know. But I still have to listen. I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast. So you just keep it moving. You're just sitting and looking for a wife. Did you see the video that I made 2 days ago? Cecilia. She went to my fair. It's not what we do. Well, anyway, come on in, people. Let's talk about this important, very, very important topic that a lot of people still have. It's a dead horse at this point. But this week, meaning Monday, Tuesday, I've had 3 consultations regarding this issue about EAD that you get when your VAWA case is pending. We've got to stop making this error. Y'all need to stop. Someone said I say y'all a lot. See, when you've lived, I've lived in the South for 2006, 16 years. Yeah. I lived in, Worcester, Massachusetts, and I moved to Chicago. It was great because I grew up in Lagos City. Well, yeah, Lagos City. Lagos. Victoria Island. So it was what I was used to. Then I moved to good old South. And I was like, I kid you not. Y'all have to understand. When we moved, and I was married then, because my ex-husband is a medical doctor. So we had to move down south, and that's part of my immigration journey. We had to move down south because his job required that we come to an underserved, medically underserved area to do out the J1 waiver, and which is, that's a particular waiver for physicians. And we moved to a town that the only thing at that time in 2006, the only thing they had as far as shopping was a Walmart Supercenter. Walmart Supercenter. That's the only thing that town had. A town 5,000 people. Can you say medically underserved? I thought I was gonna lose my freaking mind. Hey, Mr. Sonny, I was like, this is a grandpa divorce. Who knew later I was gonna get divorced? But I was like, no. But anyway, yeah. So now I live in a much bigger city, but I think I've had my feel of the South. So when my oldest son is 17, he'll be 18 later this year. It's gonna be a senior in. Can't believe how time flies. Anyway, let's get right into it. I want you guys to listen. What I'm going to show you, I'm going to share my screen on Facebook and YouTube. I'll tell you what I'm sharing on Instagram. So the topic for this evening, if you need to contact our office, number is 334-341-4475. Like and share our Facebook page, subscribe to YouTube channel. A lot of people have been subscribing. I appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram as well. You can also contact us through our website, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Send an email to info@𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. My email is scrolling across the screen if you are on YouTube and Facebook. Okay, so let's talk this evening about my Vawa EAD taking too long. What's going on? So you filed for Vawa, your EAD you filed with your Vawa petition is taking too long. What is going on? Let's get answers to that. I have talked about this in different forms, but I'm seeing that a lot of people are still making the same error. So I'm hoping that we can just resolve this where everybody is clear on what kind of EAD you have to file, and you're not just waiting for waiting's sake for something that you're not going to get until a much later time. So Vawa EAD is taking too long. What is going on? Let's get answers to that. Once again, share this video because there are a lot of people who, I kid you not, a lot of people who benefit from that. And I can tell you every single day I get, messages from people saying, I'm not your client, but I've watched someone sent me an email under a text on our office phone, because we can receive text at, I think it was 3:59 a.m. And obviously, I have someone who does all texts, and they're out of this country. They're they work freelance or work online. So they or sometimes would respond to the text. But I woke up and I was like, how in the world? But he said he couldn't wait. He just had to let me know that he had been watching every single video that I had made on YouTube and was finally done at 3:15 something a.m. And that really helped him. So a lot of people get help. So please share. That would be very much appreciated. So good evening, Miss Pam. How are you? Good evening. 1004. Miss Pam, did you live there? Miss Pam, did you live in 1G4? I'm on VI people. But EAD, someone says, what's EAD? That's EAD stands for Employment Authorization Document. But it's a document they send you an approval notice, but it's your card. Basically a work permit. If you file, and when you file for Vawa, which is a self-petition green card application it's a family-based application that you file for yourself without the help of your spouse, because you have been subjected to abuse, take out the spouse, put yourself in at the abuse element to it, right? That's what Vawa is in a nutshell. A lot of people, hello, Ms. Gorilla, how are you? Want to work when their VAWA petition is pending. VAWA can take anywhere from 18 months to 3 years. That's just the petition itself. You're not even talking of your green card application, the company, accompanied green card application. So, because of the time frame that it takes and the time it takes VAWA to be adjudicated, you have the option, if you are an immediate relative, meaning your abuser is a citizen, or even if your abuser is a green card holder, your priority date is current, basically meaning you're eligible to file your green card application at the same time you file your VAWA petition, then that means you're able to also file a work authorization application so that you can get that approved while your petition is pending. You can also file an advanced parole application while your petition is pending so that you can travel. You're not just stuck in the country where you can't live. You can travel and come back in. Now, like I said, between yesterday and today, 3 more people wondering, why is my EAD not coming? I filed over a year ago. What's going on? I'm not talking of those who filed the right category, and for whatever reason, Vermont Service Center is just sitting on there, you know what, and giving some caca story about why they haven't approved, and it's way outside normal person time. Don't even get me started on that, because God knows I've sent. Anyway, I digress. I'm talking of, you filed an EAD, you've not even gotten a response, and you're wondering what's going on. The first question I need you to ask yourself is this: did I file the right category for what I am requesting? Work authorization is filed using the I-765 form. There is a part, I believe it's page 3. I think it's page 3. If I'm wrong, y'all can figure out. There's a part that says eligibility category. You're supposed to put in what category you are requesting in that section. When you file a VAWA case, a VAWA petition, keep in mind that there are 2 different EAD categories, work permit categories, that can go with a VAWA petition. There is the C9 and there's the C31. C9 category work permit is attached to a pending application for adjustment of status. C31 category is attached solely to the VAWA petition itself. Both can be filed with VAWA, but there is one you can get while your VAWA petition is pending, while the other one you will not get until your VAWA petition is approved. People are swapping each one for the other and filing C31 category EADs when you submit your VAWA petition. You're not going to get a C31 EAD approved until until your VAWA petition has been approved. I am a very visual learner, so I got an attention span of a 2-year-old. I'm sure y'all have figured that out because I digress a whole lot. I don't know how I made it through law school 2 times over, but I'm here. But when I see something, it sticks to me more. So unfortunately, I cannot show it on Instagram because there's no app to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen on YouTube and Facebook so we can put this to rest and put it to bed once and for all. If anyone calls my office and sketches because their EAD is pending, and then you tell me you filed a C31. Now, if you tell me your lawyer filed a C31 for you, I reserve my comment. It better be that you found it yourself. Okay, let's do this. Let me share my screen because I want you guys share screen. Okay, Chrome tab. So I'm going to bring up on YouTube and Facebook, y'all can see. I'm going to bring up this tab that is the EAD category. So can y'all see my screen on? If you can see my screen on YouTube and Facebook, let me know. Let me go back there. Can y'all see my screen on YouTube and Facebook? Hello, Mr. Uday. How are you? Can y'all see my screen on Facebook? Let me know. Someone say yes, no. Okay, Miss Pam, I can see yes. Yeah, that's why I usually. Okay, perfect. Can see my screen. Awesome. All right. So if you look at, let me go back there. These are the categories for EAD, and what I'm showing for those on Facebook, you love my tattoo, thank you. It says Psalm 23. It's a butterfly and Psalm 23 under it. These are the different categories for work permit. You can see it starts from A2 all the way to C36, right? C9 category right here, where my cursor is, it says pending adjustment of status under Section 245 of the Act. Basically, what that means in layman's English is you have a pending I-45 family-based adjustment of status application, C9. Okay? When you come down to C31, it specifically says VAWA self-petitioners with an approved form I-360. Keyword being approved. So if you guys want to make it easy to just remember what the right category is, okay, what do I file that I want to get right now? Is my VAWA petition approved? No. So that means you're not getting the C1. If you put a C1, a C31, you won't get it until the VAWA petition is approved, because it's very, very specific. VAWA self-petitioners with an approved form I-360. Basically, that means that in order for you to get a C31 category work permit, you must have an approved VAWA petition, right? Okay, so let's go to, someone said it's not clear. It's very clear on my end. I'm not sure why. Okay, so that is those are the categories. I'm going to share another, the form itself, VAWA petition, which is the form I-360. All right, here's form I-360. And for those on Instagram, I'm sharing form I-360. When you go on that form on page 14, item number 12, towards the end of everything, like that's the page before you sign, it says, I'm currently residing in the United States and I request an employment authorization document. You got to check yes or no. If you check yes, what USCIS will do upon approval of your VAWA petition is that USCIS will send you a C31 automatically, just simply by checking the yes box right here. See that I checked? By checking that yes box, they will automatically send you a C31 category work permit upon approval of your VAWA petition. Upon approval of your VAWA petition. Main difference, C9, while VAWA is pending. C31 cannot be approved until VAWA comes. Why did I show you the I-360? Because if you check that, you don't even have to request or file a form I-765, a C31 category, if you've already checked yes on your I-360 petition. Now, do I file C31 for clients? Yes, and here's why. The only time I ever will file a C31 category work permit is just for filing sake. And that's because my client already has, and I do that for clients who are converting and transferring from an originally filed marriage-based petition to a self-petition. We have asked USCIS, and I did 2 of those this morning. Can I just, let me digress a little bit. I'm not kidding you. This morning, my client and I just found out, because the spouse was abusive. We attended the interview. Ask them, please hold that in abeyance so we can save the 45. We just found out this morning that this man is actually married to somebody else at the same time, and also filed another I-130 for the other person. I kid you not. You can't make this thing up. I was silent for like, I think it was a good 2 minutes because the officer was like, are you still there? Yeah. But anyway, I digress. So if you are converting from an originally family-based filed case, we've asked them to save the 485. That means you already have a pending C9 work permit, right? It is redundant. Vermont Service Center will kick you back because you already have one in process or you have one that's already been issued. So you can't file another one until that is 6 months or less before the expiration. So I just put in a C31 and say, hey, for all that is what? Let's file that. That's the only time I send in a 765. But if you're filing based on VAWA, filing the 485, you cannot get an EAD if you select C31 until it's been approved, because it's very, very specific. C31 for approved I-360. Enough said. That's it. Yeah, I get passionate about what I do. But anyway, all right, let's go to questions. So, let's see. Hello, Mr. 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒕, how are you? Okay, so like, don't make us sad. We that had baby at 35. I'm 48 and my first son is clocking 50. I'm not making you sad. But see, you got to understand, I had my first child at 26. And I had my second child at 32. And in our culture, everybody, they expect you to have your kids like 2 years max in between. But I already knew that. I think I already knew at that point that something was wrong with my marriage. Anyway, I digress. It was a whole lot easier when I was in my 20s. And then when I had my second kid, it gets harder. That's the truth. Now, some people are lucky. I was just one of those women that I didn't care for pregnancy. I just didn't. Then you get straight marks and yeah. But don't be sad because, well, if we're sentenced 15, 15 and 11 is not too. I'm 43, so 15 and 11 is like I'm still like my oldest kid. He's taking his brother to school. And you guys don't have a clue how relieving that has been. And then the little one, TJ, was like, do you realize his mother's child, he's got my mouth, he can say anything. Do you realize that in a year from now, you're going to be back taking me to school because as she's going to college? And I've never thought about it until he said it. It's like, I'll be damned. All this while I've enjoyed being needed to go to court. And then is just going to get his brother. I'm going to be back where he started from. Like, I'll be damned. I say, ain't you old enough to drive? He goes, what? I'm only 11. I'm only going to be 12. And I was like, y'all need to have your kids on time. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Let's see. Mr. Kubina, why do I feel like I have spoken with you before? My advanced parole and work authorization through VAWA. Can I travel to any part of the world? I can't speak to your case, disclaimer, everybody knows, but generally, if you have an advanced parole, there's nothing on it that restricts you to a specific place. So as long as it's valid, then you're good to go. Catrice Walker, how long after biometrics do you get EAD? I've said it several times, biometrics has nothing to do with your EAD because there's sometimes you will get an EAD without fingerprint on it. So sometimes coincidentally, it just would happen when it comes, shortly after. It just has nothing to do. One has nothing to do with the other. I received an update on my case status of it says correspondence was received and USCIS is reviewing. What does this mean? What do I expect next? I can't tell what to expect next generally. It just means an action was taken on your case. Maybe you sent something in. They've taken a look at your case, whatever case may be, but I can't speak to what that means. Okay, Mark John, Filed about August 13, received prima facie determination, already have an approval of an I-130 with the date of, you must have asked them to do that. They will not automatically do that. You must be able to show that you were the beneficiary of an I-130 and ask them. I think I put that link where it's specifically the section of the law where you can use that. I use that on my cover letter if I have to request priority to be transferred. Okay. BA, I got a letter for expedite my EAD approval, but nothing has been done on my status, and I need this in my work. What can I do? What about your receipt notice? Does it not have the automatic extension? Keep in mind that was the last week or 2 weeks ago. You're now, if you're still within that 540 days, then you still have some days to play with on that. So look into that and see if you still have those days. Okay, perfect. I'm doing well, Mr. Uday. Thank you for asking. Oh, okay, got you. BA, go back. On my it says C9. So that's good. Yeah, that's why there you can even expedite. So another thing is, the person I actually had a conversation with today actually requested for them to expedite the EAD. And then we figured out that I never got a response because they wrote and all that. Until we figured out that they were requesting for them to expedite an EAD that they're not eligible to get at this point. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where you had filed a C31 category EAD and you realize that was the wrong category and still pending, what you can do is to, now sometimes they will do this with Vermont Service Center. You can write a letter to them because you can't call. You've got to write everything's got to be in writing to Vermont, unless you have an attorney in your case. If you have an attorney in your case, you can have your attorney use the attorney email to email them and request that. Write them and request, let them know that you made an error in the category selection, and you're asking them to edit that category from a C31 to a C9, as long as you have filed the 485 that makes you eligible for that. And also ask them to keep your priority date on that initially filed 765. Okay, so that's one way you can actually right the wrong. Deborah Gibson, bless you, dear sister. I appreciate your time and effort to help us understand our rights and status. You are absolutely welcome. Hey, Aisha, how are you? Oh, epic. You're everywhere. You're everywhere. Thoroughly explained. Thank you. Thank you. BSEM line. Yeah. So for those who are wondering, what is BSEM? BSEM is mine. BSEM, if you see anyone who calls me BSEM, they know me from back in the day, from high school. Like way back in the day. Like way back. Like I graduated high school in 1994. I know some of y'all were not even born yet. 1994. And I always make fun and I always tell my kids, like, because, TJ is the youngest boy in his class, in his grade. And so by the time they start a new school year, some people are like, for instance, this year, some of his friends are already 13 going to 7th grade, and he is still going to be 11 when he starts 7th grade. But I always make fun of, like, well, I got one better than you because I graduated high school. FGGC is where I went at 15. I was 15 when I graduated high school. Someone was like, yeah, go figure. Y'all need to hear us in our house. Let me go to Instagram. Okay, let's see. I would like to thank you for all the explanations. It's been a year. I filed for Vawa, and my lawyer didn't do it properly. In order to have a work authorization based on your life, I finally filed myself. See, that's what I tell you people, that there are a lot of people who learn from this and come back and say, you know what? You were right. I literally had a woman crying yesterday. Not like, well, that didn't come around. I didn't have, oh yeah, that's just all. But crying because she was finally relieved that she got the answer she was looking for over a year. And y'all don't understand that it's hard to get a job if you don't have, especially because of the fines that USCIS levies against employers now, that they have to check the I-9 verification and all that. But to know that she was finally able to figure out why she's been waiting for over a year, and I told her, look at it this way. You could have been waiting another 6 months if you didn't pick up the phone to pay for the consultation and talk to me, and now you know. So I try to look for the blessing in every situation. That's just the way my brain works. Okay. We had a home visit. Okay. But I was not home when I met my wife. They just took a picture of my clothes and cosmetics. Let me tell, and thank you for bringing that up. So one of the consultations I had to do was they filed their case and they haven't heard back since 2019. But the last time they had communication with USCIS, they called them because apparently they had gone to their home, nobody was home, and they wanted to figure out when they were going to be home. Whenever your case, you've had your interview, it's still pending a year, 2 years, understand something. Yes, it's way outside normal processing time, but part of investigation that they are allowed to do is the unannounced visit. And if they feel that a case is a case that they have to do that, you can call all the senator and everything, call everybody. That's the response you're going to get. Make a writ of mandamus. The court is going to tell them what can make a decision. 99% of the time, if you do that, they deny your case. But waiting is not just because they're not doing anything. They're giving you time to be able to show them evidence. 2 years has passed, so you must have 2 years worth of evidence that you are in a good faith marriage. And they're going to do their visit whenever they believe it's a case that they have to do the visit. So while you're waiting for them to make a decision, keep in mind that it's still time for you to keep adding your evidence, okay? Tell your wife they'll get back to you. I'm praying that everything goes well, and the next thing you get will be an approval. Hello, I got a mail for my fingerprints yesterday for the VAWA I applied for, but they didn't send for my kids. What could have been the issue? So I can't speak to your case, Ms. Gorilla, but if you included the names of your children in your petition, that's not the same as you filing 485 or 765 for them. So the 360, that's your petition. The only person that's going to require fingerprints for that is going to be you. If you filed companion applications for your children, then they will get. So the question is, what did you file for your children? Okay. Does AP automatically come with EAD card if both filed concurrently? It's not automatic. Actually, what they're trying to do is to separate them because they claim because they've been doing the combination card, the combo card, it's been causing more delay. That's what they claim. But you may still get Hello Princess hair, yours together. A bachelor seat of Abraham. Good evening, ma'am. I sent an email to you last week, Friday. What's your email? I always respond to every email. Unless I responded that you just didn't like my answer. If I tell you, well, you need to set up a proper consultation, that's the response. But what's your email? Send me another email because I don't delete emails. I always, until I need to free up space. But if you send me an email, if you pick up my phone, which is right here, I got 1,059 unread messages. So, like, everyone's going to email on my team. I have OCD and I could be a control freak, so I don't allow anyone to check my personal email box. I got to check it myself because I'm responsible for anything. Had a good chat with your wife. That is good. Simply, Paul, is someone bound to have the ID in the state where their asylum case was filed, or you can have your ID in any state of your current residence? I can't speak to your specific case, disclaimer, but if you're filing, asylum offices have jurisdiction based on where you live. If you're moving, then you need to notify them that you've moved. So it's not, I'm not worried about where you're filing or applying for your driver's license. I'm more concerned about making sure that you're going to be interviewed at the right asylum office. P. Lycian 1. It's not I-745 because I cannot, I don't know what you're talking about. But if you want to file a work authorization based on an I-485, that is the green card application, and you paid the $1,225 filing fee, you're not going to pay filing fee for the work authorization application because that's already part of that whole. If you've paid this, then you're exempt from paying. That's why your 765 C9 category would have fee waived. If you did not pay a filing fee for your 485 with your Vawa case, where you now requested a fee exemption, then you would have to request yet another fee exemption for the work authorization application. But if you know you paid a fee for the 485, then you need to have a copy of that receipt notice to show that you paid, so that you would have to pay filing fee. So yes, you would have to wait to get that. Okay, tell it approximately how long after a VAWA approval do you get your green card? It is very, very state specific in the sense of depending on the field office. Once your VAWA petition is approved, it's forwarded to the field office having jurisdiction over your case. And so that's something I cannot, you would have to go to processing time and see. But keep in mind that you retain a priority date, but your 485 is basically dormant the whole period your VAWA case is pending. But the good thing is you're able to file your work permit, you're able to file an advanced parole and carry on with life while they work on your case. Nonstop 1919, what is your question? Alatishe Ololade, I have my fingerprinted almost 2 years and I'm yet to get interview, asylum interview. Trust me, listen. I just got a case where my client had filed pro se in 2016. We just got an interview notice. Now, we sent in a request to expedite, and you can do that based on what's going on. And you know, his case was more about issues with having to move the family from where he, you know, try not to get more, but yes, you can do that. But 2 years is not a long time, trust me. Yeah, this is a lawyer. That's a good one. If you leave your abusive partner and you are a 10-year green card holder, how long should you stay before filing for divorce? There's no time. You already have your 10 years. There's no time frame for you to get divorced. And if you got your 10-year green card based on abuse, you actually don't even have to stay married to the person. If the person is a citizen, you're not required to stay married to them to even be able to file citizenship after 3 years on your green card. So okay. Maturaya, put in my petition for VAWA since 2019, and I'm yet to receive my EAD. My lawyer is not saying anything. What could have gone wrong now? This video is exactly for you. Maturaya, hear me loud and clear. Maturaya too dainty. This is the video. If you're just joining in, once I sign off, go ahead and replay this and let me know. Listen, people, I don't know about anyone's firm. I know about my firm. try to treat me. Nobody's perfect. I make errors. God knows. I always say I am God's child under construction, because the same night I'm going to use to pray with you, I can cuss you out just like that. Don't try me, especially if you mess with my kid. Oh Lord. I have a everyone who knows me will tell you I have a very good heart. I think that's one of my weaknesses. I got that from my mother, and I'm not sure she's here. She will tell you. But in the same vein, I've got that real rigidity from my father. If I turn and I decide I'm done, Jesus will have to come down. But anyway, I say that to say this. I try to think about how I would want someone to treat me within the best, given the best of their ability. If I'm representing you, it doesn't take me a week. I want to say every client, unless there's a time I was completely out of computer for like a whole week, so there's nothing I could do. But outside of unforeseen incidents like that, once we send in your file, you will get a Dropbox link for you to download a copy of everything that's sent in, so that, because it's your life and you need to know. Ms. Moturaya, if you do not have a copy of what your lawyer sent in, you need to ask the lawyer for a complete copy of your file. Complete copy of your file. Once you get that, look at what was filed as far as the EAD and check it with the category. Did you file a green card application? If you did, what was the category? There is no reason why your EAD should be pending 3 years. It makes absolutely no sense, because once things are out of present time, or no, I won't mention her name, but she's my client, and she knows how many emails I have sent to the Vermont Service Center because her EAD has been pending and it's way out of present time. And they keep giving us this BS story of they're doing background check. Like, what the heck is it's a EAD? But I'm on it. There is no reason why, and that's just being 2 months outside normal person time, but 2 months is too long. 3 years doesn't make any sense. So you need to talk to your lawyer. Okay. 9:44. Gotta go. Listen to Epic. Epic says, I gotta say, hire an attorney if you can, especially Attorney Samuels. That would be me. They help with the small particulars you might miss while filing for yourself. And that is very true. And I'll give you an example. I have a client we're filing a Vawa case for. She already filed a previous case. I miss things, but I'm very, very detailed. And the longest time for your case to be processed in our office, I will not deny, is when it gets to my desk, because I have to review every single form, every single document. I have a contract attorney, but even that contract attorney does it because they're like, okay, done, I'm good. And then I started seeing errors, and I'm like, okay, I probably have to do this again. And what's the point? I have a client who had used an attestation of birth from Nigeria for her previous filing. And that's been going on for, I think, 2 times. When I was reviewing her file, I noticed that her birth date on her passport, birth date on her EAD, everything else was a different date from what was on her attestation of birth. So how do you have another date different from what should be the replacement for your birth certificate? She didn't notice. The previous attorney she had did not notice. And she was like, I'll be damned. She goes, you have no idea how much I appreciate you at this point. So we had to wait another week, get someone in Nigeria to help her edit that and actually do a new one, so that all her documents, because that's something that immigration pick up on. Okay, what is going on? Which document is real and all? So some things you miss out, like what's the right category that you have to find? Listen, anybody can go on Google and watch my videos and all that and do things themselves. That's fine. But someone checking in for you, someone responding to requests for evidence the way we're used to doing that. So I'm being able to do research for you. It's different. I cannot be, I don't know. I can go on Google and say, hey, I have, headaches and, sore throat, whatever. And I would have a lot of maybes come up in Google search. That doesn't make me a doctor. It doesn't. It's the same thing. But hey, listen, what do I know? I just went in law school. What do I know? Listen one. So you have a lot of questions. You are one of those people that needs to sit down with an attorney. And if you already have an attorney, then you need to sit down with that attorney and tell them this is what you've learned. This is what you know. They should tell you the truth and what. But if you have this many questions, it's time for you to pay for a consultation and get the answers to your questions and know exactly what you're doing. Because with all the questions you're having, you definitely need to do something, do it right. What proof does someone who is going through financial exploitation need for VAWA? Declaration, withdrawals, bank statements, text messages, affidavits from people who knew what you were going through, part of your psychological evaluation, the reports you and during your session, the story you told your therapist, all of that. Nonstop. I'm getting married next month and I need to know what to do to change my visa status. Set up a proper consultation. I filed for VAWA since last year. I'm yet to get a receipt. Is that normal in Pennsylvania? So I'll tell you one thing I have seen, and I have to get up soon. One thing I've noticed this year, the cases that I have filed, let's see, that the cases I filed that were cases where we're converting from an initially filed marriage base to a VAWA case, I'm seeing that those receipt notices are coming in much later compared to cases that I file with a complete package. That's something I've noticed this year in my practice. I don't know why, but that's the one thing I've seen that is common in all cases that we've transferred. One we just got today that we filed end of February. Now, you already know I've already emailed them to the point where they're probably going crazy. That's because I just want them to know that I know I haven't received it. But last year, that's more than 5 months. I would say write them. If you have an alien number that you had from a previous filing, include that. If you have, because one thing I do is we always send things out with USPS express mail or priority mail, but it's got to be signed for. Every single thing we send to USCIS must be signed for because I need that. I use that to request receipt notices and say, hey, this is proof that somebody in your office signed for it and this, it was delivered. So if you have that, send that in and see what you get from that. After appealing my case, I didn't hear from USCIS. I called them and said my case is under background check, but they said I can renew my work authorization, which I told my lawyer. What do you mean appealing your case? And if your case was denied, you don't get a work authorization. I don't understand what's going on in your case. You need to talk to your lawyer then. Olori Ajoke, can you go ahead and marry a citizen after you filed for asylum over 2 years, but it was not granted? Now, it depends. Can you go ahead and marry? Yes. Can you start and file your papers? If you're removal proceedings, you would have to do what we call a bona fide exemption. You file the I-130 first, and then once that's approved, then you would file your I-45 with the court as that, and swap that out as your application for relief. If you're still waiting for an interview with the asylum office, then file your paperwork. You don't need a bona fide exemption. If that gets approved, or when that gets approved, then you can request that you want to withdraw your asylum case. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓 Adebayo. I already have a 10-year green card, but in the process of divorce for abusive marriage, how long will I wait to file for citizenship? So if you have your 10-year green card and you got it, it wasn't based on, wasn't a Vawa case or an abuse, 751 abuse case. It was straight up 10-year green card. That means you're going to lose that whole 3 years if you're not still married to the person. And if you decide, okay, I'm going through a divorce and be done with it, then it will be 5 years as a legal permanent resident. Are you kidding? Nonstop 1919. Are you for real? Okay, so your question is, I have 2 American girlfriends, 1 black and 1 white. Which one should I go with, ma'am? I don't want to have a bad marriage. Please help. Okay. All right, people. Yeah, I can't get to all the questions. But anyway, thanks to everybody who joined. I appreciate you guys. And if we can help you in any way, once again, number is 334-341-4475. Yeah. Oh, by the way, people, if you are filing, or if you have filed an I-130, what is going on is this. If you're wondering what's going on in your case, it's taking forever. Hello, Miss Aniela, how are you? USCIS is accepting your I-130 applications, petitions, give you, the receipt notice comes and it has left bottom corner, it's got the service center, right? I found out, not just today, last week, but today was confirmation that they're actually transferring I-130 petitions between service centers without transfer notice to the petitioners. So your receipt notice may have Nebraska Service Center, which for now is one of the fastest. Then you call and say, hey, it's been 9 months. My case is out to normal processing time. That's what happened to one of my clients today. We called only to be told, well, it's been transferred to the Vermont Service Center. Guess what? Vermont Service Center is taking about, 18 months or 14 or thereabout. So that means it's still not within normal processing time. By the way, we did not get a transfer notice. Why? Well, for whatever reason, we're not sending out transfer notices at this time. Yeah. Welcome to USCIS. But anyway, all right, people, thank you for joining. Let us know if we can help you. Once again, 334-341-4475. Visit our website, alderlanelawfirm.com. Share, like our Facebook page. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to YouTube channel. And I will see you guys next time.